First pitch, smacked by Samantha Torres to straightaway center, and there is Taylor LaGrange recording the out to open this doubleheader between Kansas Wesleyan and St. Mary. The lineup for St. Mary: Samantha Torres, the pitcher, just went up the bat. Haley Reese, the left fielder, now up to the plate. Lindsay Fishman follows as the first baseman. Cassidy Harbert, the shortstop, is batting fourth. Abigail Gonzalez, she is playing third and following Harbert. Camille Reyes, the designated player, bats sixth. Kayla Trowbridge is the center fielder, batting seventh. Maddie Barron, the right fielder, batting eighth. And Madison Carr, the catcher, batting in the number 9 hole. Here's a slap down the left field line, but it goes foul for Haley Reese, the left fielder. She's down in the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Defensively for KWU, out and left is Lindsay Marion. Taylor LaGrange plays straightaway center. Emily Sparks over to right field. Your infield over to third base is Banda in blue, man in the middle. Hayes over at first. Matheny behind home plate. Megan Krause inside the circle, and she forces a pop-up for Haley Reese. It stays in the infield, and Blue, the freshman, steps underneath it. 2 quick outs here for KWU. Lindsay Fishman, the first baseman, now to the plate for the St. Mary Spires. Facing off with the right-handed thrower, Megan Krause. She spins in a pitch inside corner for strike 1. Megan, a 5'8" sophomore from San Diego, California, making her 14th start this season. She's 8-6 with 9 complete games. The 0-1 paints the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes to Lindsay Fishman. Krause looking for her 90th strikeout of the season. She sets at 89, a team high. The righty ready to go, the 0-2. Swing and a miss on the high heater. And Megan Krause cruises through the opening frame. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back for the bottom half of the first inning. This is Coyote Softball.
When the Coyotes take the court, the key to success is fantastic defense. The same holds true with your insurance policy. When disaster strikes, you'll need a dedicated, experienced agent that will defend you against loss. Trust Kent and Lambert Insurance to captain your D. Not only will they work hard to protect you, Lambert Insurance compares rates and coverages from a wide network of potential providers to get you the best deal possible. Have Kent build your dynasty today. Lambert Insurance at 2310 Planet Avenue in Salina.
Kansas Wesleyan and St. Mary going to the bottom half of the first inning. KWU is strong defensively. Offensively for Kansas Wesleyan for this game, Emily Sparks, the right fielder, bats leadoff. Jordan Matheny, the catcher, plays in the number 2 hole. Lindsay Marion, the hot-hitting sophomore, she plays left and bats third. Taylor LaGrange is the cleanup hitter as the center fielder. Annalise Hayes, the first baseman, bats fifth. Samantha Banda is the number 6 hitter as the shortstop. Lauren Blue, the freshman, a solid second baseman, bats seventh. Emily Genestra in the number 8 spot as a third baseman, and Kylie Ross, the designated player, she bats ninth. Defensively for St. Mary, out in left field is Reese. Straightaway center is Trowbridge. Barron plays right. Gonzalez over at third. Harbert, the shortstop. Elena Renshaw is not a batter in the lineup for St. Mary, but she is the second baseman. Fishman plays first. Carr behind home plate. And Samantha Torres inside the circle for St. Mary. Samantha Torres is a 5'7" junior from Morgan Hill, California, making her 16th start. She has pitched in 7 doubleheaders, so she can certainly gobble up the innings. She's pitched 90 of them with an ERA of 4.04 with 37 Ks and 20 walks given up. Emily Sparks, the left-handed slapper, watches the first pitch, called strike. Sparks, the lone returner for Kansas Wesleyan. She was a second-team All-KCAC member a season ago. The 0-1, Sparks charges, but watches the pitch goes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sparks, a 5'4" senior from Aurora, Colorado. batting .345 this season with an on-base percentage of .394. Samantha Torres, the hard-throwing pitcher, sends in a pitch. It was low for the bat of Emily Sparks, who tried to swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Emily Sparks. In her last 5, Sparks has been fairly solid. 6 for 16 with an RBI and 3 runs. The 1-2, high and outside for Emily Sparks as she tried to charge ahead. Count evens out to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Torres, the junior from Morgan Hill, California. Very solid pitcher. Low strikeout rate, though. Here's the 2-2. Sparks dribbles it to second. Elena Renshaw able to reel it in and send it to first for out number 1. Jordan Matheny now to the plate for KWU. She is leading the team in 5 different categories for this season. .390 batting average, .421 on-base percentage, 39 hits, 21 runs, and she's been hit 3 times. Torres inside the white circle, winds and fires, takes him off this pitch. It was low and outside for ball 1. Matheny, a 5'3" senior from Reedley College. The lefty steps in. Ready for the 1-0 delivery from Torres. Here it comes. Paints the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matheny hailing from Hanford, California. Well put together player. Very solid catcher for KWU. The 1-1. Smacks it down the right field line, but it's barely foul. Good shot by Jordan. But Matheny could not put that yellow ball to the left of the line by a few inches. Instead, it was 2 to 3 inches to the right of it. 1 down in the bottom of the first. Samantha Torres, the pitcher for St. Mary. Spires trying to get to double-digit wins of the season here today. The 1-2. Matheny fouls it off to the fence here to our left. Count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matheny is top 20 in 3 different categories in the KCAC. Number 17 in batting average, but number 4 in hits. And Samantha Torres, the solid junior pitcher, trying to get the out, but Matheny staying tough. The 1-2 delivery popped up to her left and out of play. Jordan Matheny, one of 3 seniors who really received major minutes. This Kansas Wesleyan Coyote team was gutted after last year's NAIA appearance. The 1-2 from Torres. Matheny check swings, holds it back on a pitch that's low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. KWU wearing the black tops here today at Billberg Park with white pants. Torres taking her time. The 2-2. Matheny pops it up to a shallow right field. The wind pushes it foul, and the first baseman, Fishman, was not ready. Goes off her glove, and Jordan Matheny lives for another day. This win is not only going to be tough for the batters because you have to hit it low and hard, but it is extremely difficult for defenders to try to track it down. Torres, the junior, ready for the 2-2. The offering outside and low, and Matheny has battled back to a full count. Matheny able to provide some leadership for this young Coyote bunch, which has been getting better every outing. Torres rocks and fires in the full count pitch outside, and Matheny battles back to draw her 4th walk of the season. And now Lindsey Marion can flash off her bat some more. She has been a really solid player for KWU, the sophomore from Carlsbad, California. Right-handed batter set to face the right-handed thrower in Samantha Torres inside the circle of St. Mary. First pitch to Marion. She took some off on a pitch that went right down the middle. Strike one. Marion leads the team in triples, homers, and RBI. 23 hits, resulting in runs for KWU. The 0-1. Runner goes. Matheny slides, and she's in there as the throw by Carr was a little to the right of Harbert. So Jordan Matheny able to pick up the steal, just her 3rd of the season. And Lindsey Marion with a chance to increase her team high total of 23 RBI. Marion behind in the count, no balls, 2 strikes with 1 down in the bottom of the 1st. Runner on second. The 0-2. A driller down the third base line. Almost stayed in play, but Gonzalez reeled it in just to the left of the white chalk here at Billburg Park. So it's a foul ball for Lindsey Marion, who continues to wow many different people in this program. Here's the 0-2 to Marion. Upstairs near the shoulders. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lindsey. Marion batting .352 this season with an on-base percentage of .400. Once was the KCAC Player of the Week. Happened not too long ago when she belted in 7 RBI. The 1-2. A lift to left field. Trying to go underneath. It goes to the wall. And it falls in play. Marion sprinting for third. She slides, and she is in there. It's an RBI triple for Lindsey Marion. Marion lifted it to left. Reese could not track it with this win. And Lindsey Marion with an RBI triple to give KWU a 1-0 lead. Lindsey Marion with now 4 triples this year and 24 RBI. First hit given up by Samantha Torres goes for a run. And now the junior has to collect herself. Had a team meeting inside the circle here at Billburg Park. Now Torres ready to face Taylor LaGrange. LaGrange, the center fielder, with 14 RBI. She can get 15 with a little stick here in this game. First pitch by Torres. Gets the outside corner for strike one. Taylor LaGrange is a junior transfer from Angelina College from Montebello, Texas. Very patient batter, drawing a team high 15 walks. The 0-1 sent to left, drops in for a hit, and back-to-back RBI for the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes as Taylor LaGrange makes it a 2-0 lead after an RBI single. Kansas Wesleyan offensively starting to come alive. When you look at the ranks in the conference, KWU is number 9 in runs per game. It's early in the conference season. The Kansas Wesleyan being very aggressive versus Samantha Torres. Torres zips in a pitch, getting the inside corner for strike one to Annalise Hayes. As you can hear, the wind really gusting here today, coming from the north. Coach Shelby Graves said that in order to be successful, you have to hit the ball hard and low. The 0-1 to Hayes. Spins outside. One ball, one strike to the right-handed hitter and Annalise Hayes. Hayes making her 7th start of the season. This is her 21st at-bat. She does have 4 hits this year. No 1. She decided to pull back on this one, but it does graze the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down in the bottom of the first. Coyotes have plated 2 runs already and have a runner on first base. Hayes trying to get the momentum going here for KWU. The 1-2 from Torres. Swing and a little bit of a graze by the bat of Hayes, keeping her alive for this at-bat. Hayes, just a sophomore from Payson, Arizona. Does have 4 RBI this year. In the Sterling Series, she was 1 for 3 with a walk. KW split in that series. The 1-2, way outside. Catcher Carr behind home plate had to lean over to her right to save that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Hayes. The 2-2 from Torres. Lifted to left field, shallow left. Tracking to her left is Harbert, the shortstop, and she's able to reel it in for the second out. That sends Samantha Banda to the plate. Banda, one of a few freshmen who are just going to be crucial for the success for KWU going forward. Banda making her 5th start of the season. She's 5 of 19 at the plate. First pitch by Torres. Fouled up into the air, out of play to the right. Hits off a light pole here at Billbrook Park. Hopefully won't be needing those here today, unless we run into some crazy action down the line in which this game goes into extra innings, or maybe the second game here for this doubleheader at Billbrook Park. Plenty of sun here today. The 0-1 pitches high and outside, a 1 ball, 1 strike. Home plate umpire Dan Fleming today. Good to see Dan, per usual. Here's the 1-1. Dribbled to the left side of the infield. Harbert, the shortstop, able to reel it in, but her throw not in time. Samantha Banda beats it out for an infield single. And the Coyotes looking to maybe get another run across home plate, leading 2-0 in the bottom of the first with 2 down, runners on first and second. Jordan Matheny got on the bags earlier this inning, then stole a base. Lindsey Marion sent her home with an RBI triple. Taylor LaGrange with an RBI single. And now the Coyotes sit here with an opportunity to add to their lead as Lauren Blue, the freshman, sees the first pitch from Torres be at her knees for strike 1. Lauren Blue, her and Lindsey Marion have been named KCAC Players of the Week. Lauren was named the POW earlier this year. Second pitch from Torres. The righty sends it downstairs. Count evens out to 1 ball, 1 strike. Lauren Blue with plenty of speed. She's batting .342 this season. But 8 of her 26 hits have been doubles. 10 of her 26, make it 11 of her 26, have been the extra base variety. The 1-1 pitch from Torres right at the knees of Lauren Blue, the freshman from Arlington, Texas. She trails in the counts, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Blue, the righty, ready to go. Plenty of noise coming from the Coyote dugout. The 1-2. Blue lifts it to left field. Underneath it is Reese, and that ends the first frame. But KWU able to play 2 runs with 3 hits and leave 2 on. Coyotes go to the second inning with a 2-0 lead. We'll be back with more. This is Coyote Softball.
It's the offer of the year at Nextech Wireless. Maybe the offer of the century. So listen up. For a limited time, switch and get up to 3 lines of unlimited data free for a year. You heard it. Free for a year. Plus, every single smartphone is 50% off, including the Samsung Galaxy S9 you've heard about, and all the iPhones. Certain restrictions apply. Ditch your overpriced plan and switch to Nextech Wireless for free unlimited data and half off smartphones.
Kansas Wesleyan 2, St. Mary nothing. In the first of 2 games here at Philbrook Park. Very sunny, but also very windy. Gusts up to 35 miles per hour coming from the north. Still in the 50s, though. Not bad for people here in the stands at Philbrook Park. Plenty of Coyote supporters. Megan Krause in the circle for KWU, set to face the hitters of St. Mary, the 4, 5, and 6 players. Harbert, Gonzalez, and Reyes. Kansas Wesleyan with a 13-15 record overall, 3-3 in the conference. Coyotes trying to get to 500 on a season that has certainly been challenging. Shelby Graves was named the interim coach when Haley Torres left. Kansas Wesleyan brings on Kevin Jonish. That lasts for 2 months. Now Shelby Graves back as the interim coach of KWU. This team is battling, very green, very young, but they show a bright future for Kansas Wesleyan softball. First pitch from Krause, sent hard down the third base line, and it somehow goes foul. I thought that was a good shot, that it would have maybe stayed to the right of it, but it did go a little bit left for Cassidy Harbert. Harbert is a 5'6" senior transfer from Kansas City, Kansas Community College. Batting .344 this season, .371 on-base percentage. Leads the team with 27 RBI, but she does not have an opportunity here to start the second inning. Krause's second pitch is upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike to the Wichita, Kansas native and Cassidy Harbert of St. Mary. The 1-1. Harbert fouls it up to the Coyote dugout to her left. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Harbert of St. Mary. Spires with the all-navy look here today. St. Mary across the chest in white with gold trim. White batting hats. And navy pants. The 1-2 from Krause. She ended the first inning on a strikeout, but her high heater this time goes upstairs. Harbert able to lay off it. Steps back inside the batter's box. Krause does not waste much time. Very decisive, the 2-2. She took some off it, and she spun it in there for a called strike. Back-to-back Ks for Megan Krause. This one goes as a backward K. 1 down here in the top of the second as Cassidy Harbert strikes out. Krause now with 91 strikeouts this season. Krause, the righty, zips in a pitch called strike outside corner to Abigail Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a 5'4" sophomore from Whetstone, Arizona, making her 11th start this season. She's played in 20 games prior to today. The second pitch, it's in the infield, lifted high up in the air. Hayes, the first baseman for Kansas Wesleyan, underneath it for the second out. Camille Reyes trying to give St. Mary its first hit of the day. The 5'5" sophomore from Sacramento staring at the scoreboard. Her team down 2-0 to Kansas Wesleyan on the road in Salina. First pitch fouled out of play to the right by Camille Reyes. No balls, 1 strike, 2 away in the top of the second inning. Coyotes up 2-0. Reyes with her 23rd start of 2018, batting .291. The 0-1 by Krause near the shoulders of Camille Reyes. Count at 1 strike. Reyes in her last 5 outings, 3 for 11 with an RBI, 2 walks, and 3 runs. The 1-1 from Kraus, right down the middle. Kraus on the prowl for 2 strikeouts this inning. She ended the first frame with a K. And she go back-to-back frames with strikeouts. The 1-2, right down the middle. You bet she does. Kraus able to get her 3rd strikeout of the game, and she is able to end the second frame like she did in the first one with a punch-out. Through 1.5, it's KWU 2, St. Mary nothing. This is Coyote Softball.
BT's, that's Burger Theory, has a $6.99 lunch special every day. For example, on Monday, during the Kansas Wesleyan Coaches Show, you can build your own burger. And on Friday, it's the juicy Lone Star Burger. Your sides included, all for $6.99. Check out their $6.99 breakfast special. Every day is a different breakfast and lunch special for $6.99 at BT's in the Holiday Inn, south of Lowe's and Salina. You just can't beat the Burger Theory daily specials. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, open 6:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Kansas Wesleyan up by 2 runs as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. 2-0 KWU. Megan Kraus has mowed through the St. Mary lineup. 6 up and 6 down for the impressive pitcher of KWU, the sophomore from San Diego, with 92 strikeouts with 3 Ks in the first 2 innings of this contest. Kansas Wesleyan having its number 8 hitter leading off for the bottom of the second, followed by the designated player Kylie Ross, and the lineup flips over to Emily Sparks. Emily Genestra is the 3rd baseman. She's the first member of the Coyotes to the plate for this inning, facing Samantha Torres, the right-handed thrower of the Spires. She winds and fires. Pitch outside corner for strike 1. Genestra, the 5'2" senior transfer from Brown Mackey, batting .253 this season. She's been solid in the last 5 games. Torres zips in the 0-1 delivery. Downstairs and low, 1-1 strike. Genestra has picked up a hit in 4 of her last 5 games. Looking to heat up her bat in the bottom half of the KW lineup. The 1-1. A little bit high above the belt of Genestra. Hitters count of 2 balls, 1 strike. Genestra with a .295 on-base percentage. Batting average is just .253. But she's starting to bring that up a little bit more for the young Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. The 2-1. Fouled off. Fouls off the very top of the fence. Ball was spinning up in the air. Had a chance to come down right on my head, so I was prepared for that one. But luckily, not the case here at Billbrook Park. Even Stan Razak, over to my left, was trying to get that ball to spin down on top of my head. Nonetheless, play resumes. The 2-2. Fouled off to the left and out of play for Emily Genestra. She's battling hard here for the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes, who played 2 runs in the first inning. Jordan Matheny able to lead it off with a walk, then stole a bag. Made it home after an RBI triple by Lindsay Marion, and Taylor LaGrange followed it up with an RBI single. The 2-2 from Torres. It's lifted to right field. Underneath it is Barron battling that win, but she's able to reel in the catch for the first out. I cannot stress just how crazy this win has truly been. It's a strong wind of 20-plus miles per hour, but it does gust up to 35 or so, coming straight from the north. is it cold, but the wind just throws a wrinkle into the plan for both teams. First pitch from Torres to the slapper, Kylie Ross, and the designated player takes it for a strike. Ross, just a sophomore from Sterling, Colorado. This is her 14th start this season. She has 10 hits and 39 at-bats. The 0-1. She took a swing at it, couldn't get it. No balls, 2 strikes to Kylie Ross. Ross, the slapper, settles in. The 0-2, barely missing outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But now the sun is getting covered up. A few clouds starting to roll in here in Salina. Ross dialed in for the 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. She swings and gets just enough of it. Fouls it off straight to the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes as we stay here with that count. Ross last year was primarily used as a pitcher, not so much as a hitter. She had 14 starts for that Coyote team that went on to win the KCAC Tournament Championship. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. First strikeout for Samantha Torres. And 2 away in the bottom of the second inning. Emily Sparks back to the plate. She opened the game with a dribbler to second. Emily with plenty of speed, leading the squad with 13 steals. That's good for number 4 in the KCAC. Torres, the left-handed slapper, and Emily Sparks. She powers in a pitch for a strike. Emily Sparks in her last 5 games, 6 for 16 with an RBI, 3 runs in a walk. Torres really taking her time. The 0-1 pitch. Sparks sees it go below her knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. Kansas Wesleyan with a 2-0 lead over St. Mary. The 1-1. Sparks sees it go upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. Coyotes might not be scoring a lot of runs. 9th in the conference out of 12 teams, but Kansas Wesleyan has produced at the plate. Number 3 in hits, number 3 in batting average, 4th in doubles, 4th in homers. Doing quite well. Here's the 2-1. It's a short hit to the pitcher. Torres has to slide to her right, but she can't zip a throw over the first in time. And Emily Sparks showing off those wheels, reaching safely with a 2-out single here in the second inning. And the catcher who started the day with a walk for Kansas Wesleyan and now going to the plate with some speed on the bags. Now, St. Mary is a team that is awfully good when it comes to stealing bases. St. Mary is a top 5 program in that regard. But Kansas Wesleyan can steal with the best of them, too. Matheny ready to go. First pitch from Torres. Smacked over to right field, and it goes by the first baseman, Fishman. Rounding second and going to third is Emily Sparks. And Jordan Matheny keeps the 2-out rally going. Runners on the corners for the number 1 RBI producer for Kansas Wesleyan, Lindsey Marion. 5 on the second inning, 2-0 KWU, 2 down, but Lindsey Marion with a primetime opportunity already with an RBI triple with her first plate appearance. She came around and scored after a hit by Taylor LaGrange. Torres, the first pitch, runner goes from first to second. Sliding in safely is Jordan Matheny. And it's the second stolen bag for Jordan here today. Runners on second and third. A little poke for Lindsey Marion could double the lead for KWU. Here's the 1-0 count from Torres. Able to spin it in there, outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to the hard-hitting sophomore from Carlsbad, California, Lindsey Marion. Lindsey Marion did have a season-high 7 RBI versus Morningside, which gave her the KCAC Player of the Week honor. The 1-1 pitch from Torres took a lot off it. A little bit off to the right side of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Now to Marion. The ranks number 7 in the KCAC for RBI. Number 7 in homers. The 2-1 to Marion. Sends a high up in the air, but it curls foul out of play to the right. And now Lindsey trots back to home plate. The right-handed batter trying to go from 24 RBI to 26 with 1 swing of the bat. Samantha Torres inside the circle. She dribbles the ball in her hand. Now here's the 2-2 pitch. Marianne straight to center. Back it goes, but there's the center fielder Trowbridge recording the final out of the inning. KWU does not get a run, but the Coyotes do get 2 hits and strand 2 in the bottom of the second inning. Through 2 innings, it's Kansas Wesleyan 2, St. Mary nothing. This is Coyote Softball.
Are you looking to slim down, build muscle, or simply become a healthier you? Hi, this is Keikoa Godfrey, manager of Complete Nutrition right here in Salina. We're excited to be under new ownership, and our friendly, knowledgeable staff will assist you in finding the right products to help you reach your lifestyle goals. Let's visit about new products and programs found only at Complete Nutrition to help you on your path to looking better, feeling better, and performing better. Let us be your help to finding wealth in your health at Complete Nutrition, just south of Sonic on South 9.
Complete Nutrition.
Kansas Wesleyan had an opportunity to double its lead to 4, but the Coyotes do not get 2 runs across home plate, so they go to the third with a 2-0 lead over the St. Mary Spires. I'm Pat Strothman. Melissa Pham is running the show back at the FM 104.9 studios. A pair of games for you here today from Bill Burke Park, home to the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. Game 2 of the doubleheader takes place on the Coyote Sports Network on KWCoyotes.com. Game 1 here on FM 104.9. After this game on FM 104.9, we won't have one until April, which of course is just around the corner, but it takes place in the later part of the month on April 21st, if my memory serves me correctly. It'll be Kansas Wesleyan softball instead of baseball. Coyotes take on McPherson on April 21st, and we'll have that game on FM 104.9. And then we get baseball on the 28th as the Coyotes wrap up the regular season with a matchup versus Sterling. There's a pop-up by Kayla Trowbridge, the center fielder, fouls it off over to a right out of play. Megan Krause still on the mound for KWU with 3 strikeouts, taking on the center fielder in Kayla Trowbridge. Krause the 0-1, fouled off hard into the fence. And trailing in the counts is Trowbridge 0-2. Trowbridge batting .209 this season, .260 on base percentage. A 5'3" sophomore from Kansas City Piper. She shows bunt. Krause delivers the 0-2 pitch. It's a hard-throwing fastball upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Trowbridge, you don't see this happen too often. I feel like you're either a left-handed batter and you throw right, or you're just a straight-up righty here in the game of softball as Krause sends it a pitch inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes as the count evens out. But Trowbridge is actually a right-handed batter and a player who throws left. Krause ready to go. The 2-2 delivery. Belted to left field. And ranging over to her left is Samantha Banda. She was giving chase, and she is able to extend that left arm to record the first out of the third. What a play by Samantha Banda. That was a really tough play by Sam, and she keeps the no-no alive for Megan Kraus, but now faces Maddie Barron, the right fielder who check swings. Matheny checks over to the first base ump. The bat did not go fully around, so Maddie Barron has a 1-0 count to her. Wind picking up. Here's the 1-0. High and outside. And Kraus may be laboring just a little bit here in the third inning. 2 balls, no strikes to Maddie Barron. The 5'5 freshman from Lee Summit West in Missouri, making her 19th start this season. She has 12 hits. Here's the 2-0. Dribbles it in the gap between second and short. And there is the first hit for St. Mary, as Bana could not track it down. A 1-out single for Maddie Barron. Now Madison Carr approaches the plate as the number 9 hitter, also from Kansas City Piper as a sophomore. This is her 28th start of the season, batting .241. Kraus ready to go. First pitch, fouled off to the left. St. Mary with its first runner on the bags. Spires have really struggled at the plate. Dead last in the conference in batting average. Number 11 in runs per game in the conference. 10th in RBI. 11th in doubles. But they can sure steal. Here's the 0-1. Thinking about stealing was Maddie Barron. She took 2 steps to her right and then retreats back to first base. Pitch was outside. 1 ball, 1 strike for Madison Carr. Here's the 1-1. Bunt shown, lay down to the left side. It spins foul. Matheny was prepared. So was the third baseman, Janestra. Kraus charged ahead as well. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Madison Carr, the catcher. Runner on first for St. Mary. With 1 down in the top of the third, Coyotes leading 2-0. Spires number 2 in the conference in stolen bags. Here's the 1-2. Popped up. Does it stay in play? Janestra trying to track it down, and it does barely go out of play to the left. There's a little gap in order to get in Billbrook Park, at least on this field, and Janestra was really tempted to go where the coaches were standing to try to make the out. But nonetheless, just another foul ball. Count out 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kraus ready, delivers, spins in there. She gets her looking. 4th strikeout for Madison Kraus. And the Coyotes now have 2 down in the top of the third inning with a 2-0 lead. That brings the pitcher, Samantha Torres, to the plate. Trying to help out her own cause inside that circle, but Kraus trying to get the third out of this inning. First pitch to Samantha Torres, high and outside for ball 1. Torres took the very first pitch to straightaway center, and Taylor LaGrange was able to record the out, which was a 1-2-3 inning. The 1-0 from Kraus, inside and low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, make it 2 balls, no strikes for Samantha Torres, who leads the team with a .368 batting average, .439 on-base percentage. Here's the 2-0, sent to right field, and it falls in for a hit. Rounding second is Barron. She rounds third and able to go to home, but the ball must have found a hole in the fence. Emily Sparks couldn't find it, so it's ruled as a ground rule double. So instead of scoring a run, St. Mary has runners on second and third. Coyotes catch a break there. And now head coach Haley Seaman, in her third season, wants to talk with Dan Fleming. And Haley Seaman is now talking to the umpire who was near second. Seaman is trying to make an argument that maybe a run should be for St. Mary, but not the case. And Dan Fleming looks over at us and says it is indeed a ground rule double. So the runner stays over at third. Kraus facing a little bit of trouble. Here's the first pitch to Haley Reese. It's low and outside, and Kraus really laboring here in the top of the third. Coyotes with a 2-0 lead, but is being threatened with runners on second and third for St. Mary. Haley Reese, the left-handed slapper. Here's the 1-0. Strike right down the middle for Megan Kraus. She's trying to battle back. She's given up 2 hits here in this inning. First set given up with 1 down to Maddie Barron. A nicely hit ball up the middle. 0-1 from Kraus. A slap to first, and it goes by Hayes, and a run scores. Here comes the second throw to home. Not in time. And St. Mary ties it up after an error over at first base by Hayes. Megan Kraus does not get out of the inning unscathed. Instead, she gives up 2 runs with 2 down here in the bottom of the third, and the St. Mary Spires looking to capitalize some more with Lindsey Fishman to the plate. The first baseman watches the first pitch go right across home plate for strike 1. Fishman was the first strikeout victim back in the first inning. Kraus got her swinging. Kraus rocking and firing. Pitch upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lindsey Fishman. 4 straight games with an RBI for the St. Mary Spires. Kraus with the 1-1 offering. Runner goes. Here's the throw to second. It's reeled in by the second baseman, Banda, able to nab it. And Matheny was able to deliver it a little to the right, but there's Banda with the nab, and she is able to throw out Haley Reese over at second. But the St. Mary Spires do get 2 runs across home plate. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error, and we go to the bottom of the third with a 2-2 tie between St. Mary and KWU. This is Coyote Softball.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
St. Mary able to play 2 in the top of the third inning. And here we sit with a 2-2 tie at Millburg Park between Kansas Wesleyan and St. Mary. Due up for the Coyotes, Taylor LaGrange, Annalise Hayes, and Samantha Banda. Banda able to nab in a throw from Jordan Matheny behind home plate on an attempted steal. She was able to get the put out at second base. But St. Mary able to play 2 runs in that top of the third after an error by Annalise Hayes. Taylor LaGrange with her first at-bat, able to get an RBI single off Samantha Torres. Torres hasn't been perfect here today. She's given up 5 hits through 2 innings, but maybe this is when she settles down with a game tied up at 2-all. Torres sees the catcher set up in Carr, pitches outside to the right for ball 1. Torres gets set back up inside the white circle. The 1-0 getting the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike to Taylor LaGrange. Shelby Graves has enjoyed seeing the aggression of the Coyote Bats as of late. But Taylor LaGrange is a gal who is quite patient. Here's the 1-1. Off-speed pitch. Ball's in there. 1 ball, 2 strikes to LaGrange. Taylor has drawn a team-high 15 walks this season. She trails in the count with this at-bat, though. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Getting set is Torres. Rocks and fires. High and outside. We're even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Taylor coming into today's game in the last 5, just 2 of 14, and 2 RBI with a home run, 3 runs, and 4 walks drawn. Got her first home run last game versus Sterling, though. Here's the 2-2. Grange smacks it down the third baseline. Gonzalez able to reel it in, and a good defensive play for St. Mary as she gets out number 1 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. That's the thing about errors. Sometimes when you do have errors, it really sparks up the other team just because they're able to realize, hey, you know what? We just put the ball in play. Got ourselves a shot to kind of do anything here. And then it maybe makes the other team a little bit better defensively as Torres sends an off-speed pitch to Hayes for strike 1. Hayes popped up to short with her first at-bat back in the 1st inning. Coyotes plated 2 runs in the opening stanza. The 0-1 in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Annalise Hayes, the sophomore from Payson, Arizona, looking for her 5th hit of 2018. Does have a home run, 4 RBI. The 1-1 to her. She swings through it, a little bit ahead of the throw. Trying to time it out a little bit better. Trailing in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Samantha Torres ready to go. The 1-2. Low and down and over to the right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kansas Wesleyan last year versus St. Mary in the regular season won 8-0 and then lost 4-3. The 2-2. Fouled off. Back to home plate by Hayes. We sit with 2 balls, 2 strikes. But the one game that everyone might remember is a contest that took place in the KCAC tournament between St. Mary and Kansas Wesleyan. Coyotes took down St. Mary and extras on a walk-off last year. The 2-2 lifted it to left field. Underneath it in foul territory is Reese, and the left fielder able to record the 2nd out of this inning. And Samantha Torres very well could get her first clean inning of the game. That game between St. Mary and Kansas Wesleyan was remarkable because that set up a couple of strange games for KW as Samantha Banda dribbles a pitch down the third base line, foul for strike 1. If you remember correctly, Kansas Wesleyan was trailing in that game, down by 2, going to the 7th. And Lacey Fitch, who's now on the coaching staff here at KW, belts a 2-run home run with 2 out to knot it up at 4-all. Here's the 0-1 from Torres, lifted up to straightaway center, but stays in field as it spins over a little bit to the right to Elena Renshaw, the second baseman. And she is able to record the final out of the 3rd inning. The first clean inning for Samantha Torres takes place in the 3rd. After 3 innings, Here we sit with a 2-all tie going to the fourth. This is Coyote Softball. Get an inside look at Kansas Wesleyan Athletics with the Kansas Wesleyan Coaches Show live from Burger Theory every Monday from 6 to 7. Chat with the coaches, players, and many others from KWU Athletics. Show your Coyote pride by wearing purple every single Friday and receive 15% off your bill. Again, that's the Kansas Wesleyan Coaches Show live from Burger Theory every Monday from 6 to 7 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL. Kansas Wesleyan and St. Mary sitting with a 2-all tie as we start the fourth inning. Megan Krause still inside the circle for KWU. Megan has thrown 9 complete games in 2018, a team-high 3.20 ERA. That's good for 6 in the KCAC. Number 9 in opponent's batting average at 287 in the conference. Number 3 in strikeouts. Does have 43 walks, though. That's about the only negative probably for 2018. But when you throw 85 in the third innings, you're probably going to have some walks from time to time. Due up at the plate for St. Mary. The number 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Spires. Lindsay Fishman first up to the plate as she stares at a pitch inside for ball 1. Fishman was at the plate last inning, but Haley Reese was gunned down at second on an attempted steal. Krause with a 1-0 offering. Off speed in there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kansas Wesleyan pitching wise, in terms of conference ranks, number 7 in ERA, number 4 in opponent's batting average. Here's the 1-1 from Krause, high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike now the count. KWU has allowed the 9th most hits, though, 10th most walks, but in terms of strikeouts, number 2 in the conference. Led by Krause, who has 4 Ks here today. Her 2-1 pitch is downstairs. And as the game goes along, you can kind of see a little bit of her throws. See a little dip in speed. Maybe location out there as well. The 3-1, high and outside. And the first walk given up by Megan Krause leads off the fourth inning. Cassidy Harbert struck out looking back in the second. Spires starting to get a little bit more patient at the plate. St. Mary came out very aggressive first time through, but here in the second time in the lineup, much different approach. Here's a bunt lay down, straight away to the pitcher. Krause picks it up, zips it to first, and there's 1 down here in the fourth, but the sacrifice works by Cassidy Harbert as Fishman trots over the second base. But Cassidy Harbert is the best hitter for St. Mary, with a team-leading 27 RBI. So you get that one out, and then you force a pop-up, which Krause does, but Matheny, who was running up the first base line, unable to reel in the catch as Abigail Gonzalez popped it up on the very first pitch with her second at-bat. Gonzalez in her final 5 games with just 1 RBI. She's 4 of 14 at the plate. The 0-1 from Krause. Another pop-up. It's a shallow one. This time to the pitcher, Krause. And she's able to snow cone it for KWU. 2 away in the top of the fourth inning. So while the St. Mary Spires have a runner on second, the Spires sacrificed their number 1 RBI producer in Harbert as the cleanup hitter and put pressure on hitters 5 and 6. Gonzalez pops up to the pitcher. Reyes struck out looking back in the second. And she eyes a pitch that's called as a strike by Megan Krause here in the top of the fourth. 2-all tie, 2 down, runner on second. Athene stares at the runner at second, and Lindsey Fishman on the second pitch, which is high and outside for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike to Camille Reyes with 8 RBI this season. Krause's 1-1 pitch, check swing. Matheny throws it to second, and it dribbles by Lauren Blue. Luckily, Fishman had to dive back and got held up just enough. Good attempt by Jordan Matheny. I thought she threw it right on the money. This Blue couldn't hang on to it. Krause ready for the 2-1 pitch on the way. Outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Camille Reyes. Krause looking for punch out number 5. Reyes takes her time. Krause inside the circle awaiting, wasting no time. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Low dribbler back up to Krause. She's able to reach out to nab it, and that does it for the top of the 4th inning. Megan Krause gives up a leadoff walk, but Megan does not give up a run here in the 4th inning. Through 3.5, we sit with a 2-all tie here at Millbrook Park between KWU and St. Mary. This is Coyote Softball.
When the Coyotes take the court,
ID.
Thank you.
the same holds true with your insurance policy. When disaster strikes, you'll need a dedicated, experienced agent that will defend you against Insurance to captain your D. Not only will they work hard to protect you, Lambert Insurance compares rates and coverages from a wide network of potential providers to get you the best deal possible. Have Kent build your dynasty today. Lambert Insurance at 2310 Planet Avenue in Salina.
It takes a great insurance agency to get you the security you're looking for. Visit Kent Lambert and his team of agents in Salina and Minneapolis. FM 104.9 KSAL Salina, a Rockingham media station.
Kansas Wesleyan and St. Mary's still tied at 2-all. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Kansas Wesleyan sends Lauren Blue, Emily Genestra, and Kylie Ross to the plate this inning. The numbers 7, 8, and 9 hitters. Samantha Torres able to mow through the KWU lineup last time in the 3rd. Her first clean inning, 1-2-3. She's starting to settle in this late in the game. Meanwhile, KWU trying to get some more runs across. Stranded 2 runners back in the 2nd inning. Lauren Blue, the right-handed freshman, ready to face the right-handed thrower in Torres. And Blue fouls it up into the air, out of play to the left. Lauren just shows great promise for KWU. Coyotes are indeed quite young. 9 members on the All-KCAC team a season ago, just 1 return in Emily Sparks. Here's the 0-1. Blue stares at it. It's low. 1 ball, 1 strike to the freshman from Arlington, Texas. Blue did have a 10-game hit streak. Snap versus Bethany not too long ago. The freshman ranks number 12 in RBI. The 1-1. Blue taps it foul down the third base line. Blue also number 9 in doubles in the KCAC. She leads the team with 8 this season. And 11 of her 26 hits this year have been extra bases. Here's the 1-2. Blue lifts it down the left field line, and tracking it down is Reese, but she can't get to it in time. Blue comes back with a 1-2 count. The wind maybe not nearly as consistent here in the day, but certainly the gusts are still going up above 20 miles per hour here in Salina, coming from the north, coming into the ballpark. Here's the 1-2. Blue swings, can't catch up with it, And Samantha Torres gets her second strikeout and retires her fifth coyote in a row. Emily Ginestra, the third baseman, popped up to left back in the second inning. Ginestra came over from Brown Mackey. Here's the first pitch to Emily. Dribbles it to third. Gonzalez can't handle it initially, but she stays with it and had plenty of time to throw it over the first. 2 down in the bottom of the fourth inning. Well, Kansas Wesleyan's offense has fallen silent the last so many innings. Samantha Torres, even in the second inning, recorded the first 2 outs before giving up a single and another single. Torres' first pitch to Kylie Ross, the slapper. She charged forward and watched the pitch hit the outside corner for strike 1. Kylie Ross was the first strikeout victim for Torres back in the second. Here's the 0-1 from Torres. This one's low and away. Kylie Ross able to watch it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ross last year inside the circle was a very serviceable pitcher for Kansas Wesleyan with a 3.38 ERA as a freshman. But her role has changed this year. She's still a pitcher as she dribbles this pitch foul right off the plate to Carr. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the slapper who rolls back to home plate. Ross has adjusted nicely. A team first type of player. She steps back inside the chalked up batter's box. Torres ready, the 1-2 pitch. Ross stays alive by slapping it foul to the left. Seemed like the pitch able to take out a couple branches as well to the many trees here at Bilberg Park. Torres inside the circle. The 1-2 pitch. Ross stares at him. It's low, below the knees. Count evens out to 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away in the bottom of the fourth inning. Kansas Wesleyan and St. Mary locked up at 2-all. Coyotes played at 2 in the first. St. Mary with 2 in the third. Coyotes did it off hits. St. Mary did it with 1 play on an error. Here's a 2-2. Lifted to left field. Does it stay in? It does. It's fair as Reese couldn't get to it. She dove and couldn't get to it in time. And that allows Kylie Ross to get a 2-out double as she stands tall over at second base. It's a little unfortunate for Samantha Torres. That wind kept it high up in the air. Reese decided to lay out, but couldn't get to it. So now Emily Sparks with an opportunity to get an RBI. She has just 7 total here on the season. First pitch, Sparks able to ground it over to shortstop. Harbert, the shortstop, able to reel it in, and she sends it over the first for the final out of the fourth inning. No runs off 1 hit for KWU and 1 left on the bags. Through 4 innings, it's a close ball game. 2-all the score as we head to the top of the 5th inning. This is Coyote Softball.
It's the offer of the year at Next Tech Wireless. Maybe the offer of the century. So listen up. For a limited time, switch and get up to 3 lines of unlimited data free for a year. You heard it. Free for a year. Plus, every single smartphone is 50% off, including the Samsung Galaxy S9 you've heard about, and all the iPhones. Certain restrictions apply. Ditch your overpriced plan and switch to Next Tech Wireless for free unlimited data and half off smartphones.
In the top of the fifth inning, it's Kansas Wesleyan 2, St. Mary 2. The first of two games here at Billbrook Park. Very windy. Sun back out with a little bit of cloud coverage starting to roll through the city of Salina. Megan Krause still inside the circle for KWU. She has given up 2 runs back in the third inning. She did allow 2 hits in that frame. A single from Barron, double from Torres. But an error by Hayes allowed Torres and Barron to score and tie it up at 2-2. Due up for the St. Mary Spires, Trowbridge, Barron, and Carr. Hitters 7, 8, and 9. Krause's first delivery. Low and inside to Trowbridge for ball 1. Kayla Trowbridge had a nice shot to the left side of the infield, but Samantha Banda able to range all the way to her right to get the out. It was a beautiful play defensively. Here's the 1-0 from Megan Krause in there for the first strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kansas Wesleyan in the first 2 innings of 2017 outscored opponents 72-32. Krause's 1-1 pitch upstairs. Count goes to 2 balls, 1 strike. But KWU for this season outscored 54-30. It's a little bit of a role reversal for this young Coyote team for 2018. Here's a 2-1 off the end of the bat. Ball high up in the air and now to play to the right. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kayla Trowbridge. Also for Kansas Wesleyan, in 2017, the Coyotes gave up a total of 163 runs. Coyotes through 28 games this season, 165 coughed up. Here's the 2-2. Trowbridge able to hold back on the high heater upstairs. First full count here for Megan Krause. But the reason for the runs is simply put because of the errors that have taken place. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's dribbled over to third. Janestra able to scoop it up, send it over the first. 1 down in the top of the 5th inning. Maddie Barron got the first hit of the game for the Spires back in the third off a 1-out single. Went up the middle with the little dribbler. First pitch for this at-bat unintentionally goes off the bat to Barron for strike 1. Coyotes have been getting better in the fielding department, but number 11 in the conference in fielding percentage. Errors per game at number 26, but you have to realize you got to flip that number around to show how many errors per game that the Coyotes have had. They average 2 a contest, and they have 1 here today that has resulted in 2 runs. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled off to the fence. Right behind home plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Maddie Barron. The warm sun now starting to come out through the clouds. Trying to balance out this cold weather here in Salina. The 1-2 from Krause. Off the end of the bat. Fouled off to the Coyote dugout. Count stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kansas Wesleyan last series did have 4 total errors versus Sterling. 3 in 1 game. Here's a swing and a miss by Maddie Barron. And Megan Krause able to get her swinging on a fastball upstairs and outside for her 5th strikeout, my apologies, for today's game. Thought maybe it was punch out number 4, but she has 5 recorded through 4 2/3. Her first pitch to the number 9 hitter, Madison Carr, in there for a strike. Carr was the 4th victim The last one back in the third inning, she struck out looking. Krause clears off the dirt. Winds and fires on the 0-1. Upstairs and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We haven't seen a run since the third inning. Coyotes haven't scored since the first frame. Here's the 1-1. Popped up, stays in the infield, tracking it down to the right as the wind pushed it to Lauren Blue. And the freshman second baseman able to get the final out of the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Megan Krause. Through 5 innings, she's given up just 2 hits and 2 runs after 1 error. And the Coyotes look to turn to their offense in the bottom of the 5th inning to break up a 2-2 tie with St. Mary. This is Coyote Softball.
BT's, that's Burger Theory, has a $6.99 lunch special every day. For example, on Monday, during the Kansas Wesleyan Coaches Show, you can build your own burger. And on Friday, it's the juicy Lone Star Burger. Your sides included, all for $6.99. Check out their $6.99 breakfast special.
You know what's going on tonight?
Every day is a different breakfast
Someone
and lunch
asked you
special
that
for
question. I'm
$6.99
like,
at
are you
BT's
nuts?
in the Holiday Inn, south of Lowe's in Salina. You just can't beat the Burger Theory daily specials. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, open 6:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
To the bottom of the 5th we go. KWU and St. Mary locked up at 2-all. At about this time, we do take a look at our complete performance of the ballgame so far. Complete Nutrition is Salina's best place to stop for all your health and nutrition needs. Their knowledgeable staff will take the time to develop a detailed plan and help you get on track to achieve your health or fitness goals. Complete Nutrition, look better, feel better, perform better. And I can certainly go with Megan Krause, who's given up just 2 hits with 5 Ks in this game. I would probably lean toward her, but I think Jordan Matheny has really shown the complete package. 2 stolen bags, a walk drawn, a hit, a run, a couple putouts. Lindsey Marion has an RBI triple back in the first inning. Taylor LaGrange with an RBI single. I'll give it up to Jordan Matheny so far. She has the complete performance so far in this game. And the catcher just so happens to lead off the bottom of the 5th, followed by Lindsey Marion and Taylor LaGrange. Samantha Torres still inside the circle for St. Mary. The junior has been quite strong. She gave up a double last inning with 2 out. But she has been untouched practically since the 2nd inning, in which she gave up back-to-back singles to put runners on 2nd and 3rd. First pitch was a strike. Second one sent straight up the middle. It's a laser beam by Jordan Matheny, and Jordan able to get her 2nd hit of the game and leads off the 5th with a single. That was one heck of a shot by Jordan Matheny. And maybe she's looking for the hat trick. She talks with Lacey Fitch over at first base. And we'll see if Jordan Matheny does get the green light to steal. Lindsey Marion at home plate. First pitch sent to left. It dribbles all the way to the green grass. Marion hit it straight on the ground, and it just rolled all the way to the left field. And back-to-back hits to open the 5th for KWU. Coyotes have 8 total hits, and Taylor LaGrange looking to add to that total with nobody down in the bottom of the 5th in a 2-all game. LaGrange has already singled in 1 run. She dribbles this one to third. Gonzalez with the glove, able to reel it in. She retreats back to her bag and tags it with the foot to get the force out over at third. Jordan Matheny now goes over to the dugout, but Taylor LaGrange over at first after the fielder's choice. Melissa Waldron is going to send in a pinch hitter for KWU, not Shelby Graves. Justine Chavez is the hitter for Kansas Wesleyan, the 5'10" sophomore from Corona, California. So Chavez replaces Annalise Hayes. Chavez on the season has played 14 games. She does have 8 hits and 26 at-bats with 2 doubles and 5 RBI. Torres ready to deal with the pinch hitter, and the first pitch is sent to left. Trying to track it down is Reese, but the diving attempt cannot be made in foul territory. Chavez last played versus Bethany. KWU faced the Swedes on March 24th. Chavez in that game went 1 for 3 with an RBI, a double, and a run. Chavez with runners on first and second, 2-all the score in the bottom of the 5th with 1 down. Here's the 0-1. Lifted high up in the air. Reese underneath, now steps forward and records the outs by straddling the chalk in left field. 2 down in the 5th inning. We talked about how Jordan Matheny has had a complete game. Samantha Banda, not too far behind. She's really flashed off her glove over at short. And at the plate, she's 1 for 2 with a single back in the 1st inning. Banda ready to rock and roll, facing off with Samantha Torres. First pitch, outside, ball 1. Samantha Banda. On the season with just 2 RBI. But versus Sterling, she got 1 of the 2 RBI in that doubleheader. Bunt shown. Here's the 1-0. Pulling back is Banda. St. Mary kind of shifted defensively. Banda kind of lifted back to back. 1 ball, 1 strike to Sam. Banda was 3 for 7 with a triple, 2 runs, and a walk, and an RBI in that series versus Sterling. Here's the 1-1. Banda stares at it. It's near her head. 2 balls, 1 strike to her. Banda rocking some black shades here at Billbrook Park. Probably a good idea to prevent any dirt from flying up into that eye, because the wind is still gusting up to 30 miles per hour or so here in Salina. Torres waits. Now she's ready. The 2-1. Banda to right field. Underneath it is Barron, and the wind pushes it closer to the chalk, and Barron finds a way to scoop it in. So KWU with runners on first and second, unable to plate any runs despite leading off the inning with back-to-back singles. Through 5, we sit with a 2-all tie going to the top of the 6th inning. This is Coyote Softball.
Are you looking to slim down, build muscle, or simply become a healthier you? Hi, this is Keikoa Godfrey, manager of Complete Nutrition right here in Salina. We're excited to be under new ownership, and our friendly, knowledgeable staff will assist you in finding the right products to help you reach your lifestyle goals. Let's visit about new products and programs found only at Complete Nutrition to help you on your path to looking better, feeling better, and performing better. Let us be your help to finding wealth in your health at Complete Nutrition, just south of Sonic on South 9th.
Complete Nutrition.
2 runs scored by Kansas Wesleyan in the very first inning of this game. St. Mary gets 2 in the 3rd, and we have been looking at a 2-all tie since that 3rd frame as we open up the 6th. Still inside the circle is Megan Krause, who has been very excellent in the first game of this doubleheader. The second game takes place on the Coyote Sports Network on kwcoyotes.com. Game one here on FM 104.9. I'm Pat Strothman. Melissa Pham is running the show back at the FM 104.9 studios. Top of the lineup for St. Mary. Third time through the lineup for Megan Krause. Samantha Torres is the leadoff hitter for the sixth inning. The righty stares at the first pitch inside for ball one. Torres 1 for 2 today with a double back in the third inning. Torres, the best hitter overall for St. Mary. She's really a do-it-all player for the Spires. Here's the 1-0. Sent up the middle and bobbled by Samantha Vanna. It's an error, the second one on the Coyotes here today. The first error resulted in 2 runs for St. Mary back in the third. The Vanna couldn't handle it. It's the second error on KWU, a team that averages 2.2 a game. Here's the slapper, bunt laid down by Lindsay Fishman, able to pick it up. There's Krause, but she can't throw it in time over the first. Check that, that's Haley Reese, and the speedster able to reach safely with an infield single. It was supposed to be a sacrifice bunt, but she laid it down perfectly. Krause gives up her first hit since the third inning. And St. Mary threatening here in the top of the sixth inning with runners on first and second. Nobody down, and Lindsay Fishman to the plate. First pitch from Krause, outside corner, strike one. Fishman walked back in the fourth inning to lead off the fourth. Went to second after a sac bunt by Cassidy Harbert. Krause wasting no time. Bunt lay down. It goes to the first baseman. Covering at first is Blue. And Hayes, check that, that's not Hayes, ranging from first base for KWU. It was Hayes who was out there for a little bit, but Justine Chavez able to make that play as a first baseman. Now the sac bunt did indeed work. As Torres moves over the third, Reese goes to second. But just a headsy play by Chavez to get the first out of the sixth inning. Now Krause has to get by a tough hitter in Cassidy Harbert, the shortstop. First pitch is dribbled in for ball one. Cassidy Harbert is a talented hitter for the St. Mary Spires. Harbert leads the team with 27 RBI. Here's the 1-0. It's a bunt high up in the air. Matheny dives, could not get to it. Running home was Samantha Torres. St. Mary tried to go with the squeeze play at home plate to try to take the lead in this 2-all ball game in the top of the sixth. Runners on second and third for the Spires with one down. At the plate is Cassidy Harbert, the RBI machine. The 1-1, no squeeze play this time, and Krause sends a pitch upstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike to Cassidy Harbert. The senior transfer from Kansas City, Kansas Community College, has had an RBI in 12 of her last 16 contests. The 2-1 bunt showdown. It's up in the air, and it goes off the glove of the third baseman, Janesta. And able to slide on in is Samantha Torres. And the Spires take the lead as Harbert goes from first to second. So Janestra had an opportunity for that one. But unfortunately, it goes off the edge of her glove for another error on KWU. And the inning is not over. to Abigail Gonzalez to the plate. First pitch lifted up, right back to the pitcher Krause, but she can't track it down, and the wind pushed it so hard to the right that it bounces to foul territory. This wind has really thrown everyone off, especially defensively. But KWU with 2 errors in this inning. The second one allowing Samantha Torres to score. Krause still hanging tough. The 0-1. Squeeze play. Bounce left. Reeling in the ball is Ginestra. She zips it over the first. But the sack leads to a run for St. Mary as Reese scores. And Kansas Wesleyan falls behind 4-2 in the top of the 6th inning. Now Cassidy Harbert's over at third as well on the squeeze. St. Mary going to make a switch at the plate. Coming in for the Spires is Jalissa Serrano. Serrano is a junior transfer from Spoon River College, making her 22nd appearance this season. She does have 13 hits out of 54 at-bats this year, with 5 RBI. She faces Megan Krause. The righty spins it to the right side of the plate for ball 1. Krause gets settled. The 1-0. High and outside. Krause really laboring here in the 6th inning. But 2 errors. And 3 total. Really the story of the game for KWU. The 2-0. Sent foul to the left. It was a shot. Coaching staff of Kansas Wesleyan had a duck for that one. Wind continues to be a factor here at Billbrook Park today. A lot of dirt coming your way, covering up all sorts of devices out in front of us. Here's the 2-1. It dribbles to the left. And Dan Fleming, the home plate umpire, says it's a walk. I thought the count was 2-0. But maybe it did graze Serrano a little bit. We'll say that's a walk, allowing Serrano to go to first. So runners on the corners for Kayla Trowbridge. First pitch to her, outside. KWU trailing 4-2 in the top of the 6th. 2 down, and the runners are on first and third for St. Mary. The Spires getting a run to come across after an error, and an error opened up this inning. Bunt attempted to be laid down. Here's Matheny zipping it to second. Banda goes over to first. It can't be handled by Blue. And another error plates a St. Mary run. It's a 5-2 lead for St. Mary. Kansas Wesleyan averages quite a bit of errors, 2 per game. KWU with 3 mistakes in the 6th inning, 4 in total in his first of 2 contests today at Billbrook Park. Krause trying not to be altered by it. She zips in a 1-1 pitch, called strike. It's a 1-2 count for Kayla Trowbridge with a runner on first. Here's the 1-2. High and outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Krause does have 5 strikeouts here in this game. And the St. Mary Spires taking advantage of 3 errors in the top of the 6th inning to take a 5-2 lead. Here's the 2-2. Sent foul to the left. To give credit to the Spires, they have battled here in this game, a team that is trying to get to double-digit wins this year. St. Mary is 8-23 overall, 3-11 on the road, 1-3 in the conference. Here's the 2-2. Dribbles over to second. Blue picks it up, and that's the inning. But the damage has been done. 3 runs plated. 2 errors by KWU. So they're not going to say 3 errors, just 2 errors. So David Tolley indicating that one. 1 runner was left stranded. And the St. Mary Spires take a 5-2 lead to the bottom of the 6th inning. Coyotes down to the final 6 outs. They're going to have to come alive at the plate if they want to get back in this ball game. This is Coyote softball.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like a patient values an experienced doctor. Salina Ortho has ABOS board-certified physicians with over 40 years of orthopedic service. If you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides, see one of our trusted physicians or visit salinaortho.com. Salina Ortho, your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Kansas Wesleyan gives up 3 runs on 2 different errors in the top of the 6th inning, and the Coyotes are now looking at a 3-run deficit, 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas Wesleyan has Lauren Blue, Emily Genestra, and Kylie Ross all due up unless the Coyotes do change up their strategy. Lauren Blue, the freshman who has been excellent at the plate in her first season as a collegiate player. She's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout back in the 4th inning. Samantha Torres still the pitcher for the St. Mary Spires. First pitch sent foul on a hard shot by Lauren Blue to left field. Give credit to Samantha Torres for battling back in this game. She was roughed up in the first 2 innings. She's given up a total of 8 hits, but yet just 2 runs on the board for KWU way back in the first inning. Last inning, Torres gave up back-to-back singles, but KWU failed to plate any runs. Here's the 0-1. Blue watches it. It's outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Spires started playing softball back in 2006. And when you look at the history of St. Mary, certainly has seen some rough times as Torres sends a 1-1 pitch outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lauren Blue. Spires were 26-29 back in 2016, 20-29 last year, 8-23 this year. If they don't make it a double-digit wins, I would be sort of shocked. But that has been the case for so many years for St. Mary. 3-1 now the count to Lauren Blue after a pitch inside, also in tight and a high. St. Mary has seen double-digit win seasons from 2014 to 2017, but single-digit wins in the rest of the Spire history. Here's Lauren Blue looking at a 3-1 count, takes it all the way. It's a pitch upstairs, and for the second time in this game, Samantha Torres walks a KWU batter. But Blue able to draw a walk to open up the bottom of the 6th inning. That opens up the door for KWU once more. Can the Coyotes take advantage of the invitation by Torres inside the circle? First pitch to Emily Genestra, popped up over to the fence to her right down the first base line. Fishman could not put that glove over the yellow top of the fence here at Bilberg Park. and it counts as a foul ball. Emily Genestra 0 for 2 here today with a pop-up to right back in second and a grounder to third in the fourth inning. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss for Genestra. Trailing in the count, no balls, 2 strikes with a runner on first. And nobody down. Coyotes trailing 5-2 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Coyotes need some magic here at the plate. I'm looking at Torres, a gal who has been a solid pitcher with the St. Mary Spires. The windup, the 0-2. It's a tiny little dribbler to third. Gonzalez throws it to second, and it goes off the glove of a St. Mary Spire. The throw by Gonzalez was not a good one. You know, for the second time in this game, the St. Mary Spires have an error. And now a courtesy runner is coming in for Genestra. Going over the first for KWU is Cheyenne Luna, the 5'5" freshman from Katy, Texas. So Luna is over at first. Standing at second is Lauren Blue. And at the plate is Kylie Ross, but there is a meeting inside the chalked up circle here at Millbrook Park. Kylie Ross did have a 2-out double with her last at-bat back in the 4th inning. She was able to benefit from the wind, which has been coming from the north quite strong here in the day. Fans are here in stocking caps. That's usually an indication of just how cold it truly is here on a day like today. But maybe the cold Coyote offense can come alive at the right time with nobody down in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Ross. It's a 2-hopper to second. Elena Renshaw checked over at second, then looked over at first, and she could not have a chance to get the out. Kylie Ross able to get an infield single, and the bases are loaded for the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes as the lineup card flips over with Emily Sparks at the plate. 9th hit given up by Samantha Torres. This is the inning for KWU, trailing by 3, 5-2. Bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody down. Torres set to throw it to the slapper, and Sparks fouls it off to the backstop for strike 1. Emily Sparks with just 7 RBI this season. She's 1 for 3 with a single back in the 2nd inning. Here's the 0-1. Sparks, a dribbler by the pitcher. Picking it up is the second baseman, Elena Renshaw, but who cares as the Coyotes get a run to come across. Lauren Blue scores after the little dribbler by Emily Sparks on the RBI. And the St. Mary lead is trimmed to 2, 5-3, with runners on second and third for KWU. Jordan Matheny, who has 2 hits in this game. She has reached safely all 3 times while going to the plate. 2 singles in the 5th and 2nd innings. And a walk back in the 1st, and she lines one up the middle and dribbles to the outfield for 1 run. Here comes the 2nd. Runner taken off for second base of Matheny. She's tagged out, but we are tied up here in the bottom of the 6th inning after a 2 RBI hit by Jordan Matheny. 5-all the score in the bottom of the 6th as the Coyotes are able to plate across 3 runs after giving up 3 in the top half of this inning. The inning's still not over, though, as Lindsey Marion approaches the plate. First pitch by Torres is downstairs for ball 1. So Samantha Torres has given up 2 hits here in this inning. But an error by the third baseman, Gonzalez, gave KW life. Here's Marion with a skyrocket to right. It's out of play over the fence. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lindsey Marion. Maybe a home run can be dialed up for Lindsey Marion. She is 2 for 3 here today with a single and an RBI triple, which took place way back in the first inning. Torres' third pitch to her is high and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike to Lindsey Marion. No runners on, but the Coyotes have tied it up at 5-all in the bottom of the 6th inning. Two-one pitch. Marion leans down, looks at it, right at her head. 3 balls, 1 strike. Marion trying to start a 2-out rally to maybe give KW the lead. Here's the 3-1. Marion fouls it up behind us. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Count is full for Lindsey Marion. Coyotes have battled back. Gave up 3 runs. In the top of the 6th. And now the Coyotes have rallied to tie it up at 5-all. Here's the 3-2. Marion stares at it. She didn't like it, but Torres able to get a backward-looking K. Her 3rd strikeout of the day. But Kansas Wesleyan matches a 3 spot in the bottom of the 6th inning to lock it up at 5-all going into the final frame. This is Coyote Softball.
Get an inside look at Kansas Wesleyan Athletics with the Kansas Wesleyan Coaches Show live from Burger Theory every Monday from 6 to 7. Chat with the coaches, players, and many others from KWU Athletics. Show your Coyote pride by wearing purple every single Friday and receive 15% off your bill. Again, that's the Kansas Wesleyan Coaches Show live from Burger Theory every Monday from 6 to 7 on Sports Radio 1150 KSAL.
Well, game 1 of this doubleheader between St. Mary and Kansas Wesleyan has been quite the showdown. Kansas Wesleyan with a handful of errors in this game, allowing St. Mary to plate across 5 total runs. An error back in the 3rd allowed 2 runs to score for the Spires. And then 2 errors in the top of the 6th allowed the Spires to plate 3 total runs. But Kansas Wesleyan got some help in the bottom of the 6th inning. An error by the 3rd baseman for St. Mary allowed the Coyotes to get some life. They loaded up the bags, able to plate 3 runs. After a 2 RBI single by Jordan Matheny, who took off for second and was tagged out, but her damage was done, making it a 5-all ball game here in the 7th inning. Megan Krause still in the circle for KWU, facing Maddie Barron, Madison Carr, and Samantha Torres. First pitch fouled off to the left for Maddie Brown for strike 1. Make it Maddie Barron. Maddie Barron is 1 for 2 with a single back in the 3rd. Strikeout swinging in the 5th inning. Krause ready to rock and roll. The 0-1, left to the center. Underneath it is Taylor LaGrange. Doesn't have to move very far for out number 1 here in the 7th inning. The catcher, Madison Carr, now approaching home plate. 0 for 2 with a K and a pop-up. It looks like Alyssa Waldron is coming down to talk with Dan Fleming. Trying to indicate who's over at first. Justine Chavez is the first baseman. And after the brief pause, action ready to continue. Kraus, the righty, deals with the right-handed hitter in Maddie, making Madison Carr, and she had a sharply hit ball to third. Janestra couldn't handle it, and it's a foul ball. Dan Fleming, the home plate umpire, indicating that it's a foul ball. Head coach Haley Seaman cannot believe it. It went off the glove of Janestra, who was in foul territory. Not in foul territory. She was in fair territory. And then it went foul to the right. Two umpires are going to discuss it. As we sit, it's ruled as a foul ball by Dan Fleming. And it looks like the call stands. Janestra was in fair territory. And now Haley Seaman wants an explanation. I think the coach was just looking for a true explanation. She never once really received one. So now she smiles, and we are ready to rock and roll following a little pause. Megan Kraus inside the circle. The 0-1. High and outside for ball two. I don't blame Haley Seaman there. That's a tough one. Have to get an explanation, and I think everyone just kind of assumed that it was a foul ball, but we just never know. Here's the 1-1. This one for sure is foul. It's dribbled to the left side down the third base line. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Madison Carr. Megan Kraus trying to get out of this inning unscathed to allow a possible walk-off in the bottom of the 7th inning in a 5-all ball game. Kraus ready. Rocks, fires. The 1-2 popped up and to the right and out of play. Madison Carr, the number 9 hitter, staying alive. Down to the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kraus has slowed up a little bit in this game, but not too much. Here's the 1-2. Dribble foul to the left. St. Mary Spires scored 2 runs in the third, 3 in the 6th. Scored 5 runs off a couple errors by KWU. Kraus, the 1-2 delivery, lifted to left. Marion went in initially, but then she retreats to record the second out of the 7th inning. 2 pop-ups drawn by Megan Kraus, trying to use the strong north wind to her advantage. KWU has relied on hard-hitting balls, more like line drives. St. Mary has been more of a pop-up variety team here in this game. Here's the first pitch by Kraus. It's a shot to right field. Sparks initially thought it would be going a little bit farther back, but she comes in, and she gets the out on Samantha Torres, the pitcher of St. Mary. Well, Torres is the pitcher inside the circle for St. Mary. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, Coyotes trying to get the walk-off. It's a 5-all tie here at Billbrook Park. This is Coyote softball.
Whether on the field, court, or in the operating room, experience matters. A coach loves an experienced team just like...
You jinxed it earlier, man.
I did nothing.
said extra innings earlier. I heard you.
I did. I know I did. I wish I did it
If
now.
you need help staying active or just want to discuss options regarding the newest techniques and services and specialties that Salina Ortho provides,
forgiven.
I'll take the L.
Ortho.com. Salina Ortho. Your voice, your choice, past, present, and future.
Well, game one of this doubleheader at Bill Burke Park between KWU and St. Mary is either going to end in a walk-off for KWU or we go to extra innings. In the bottom of the seventh inning, we have a 5-all tie due up for KWU. Taylor LaGrange, Justine Chavez, more than likely for Annalise Hayes, and Samantha Banda. But KWU gave up 3 runs in the top of the 6th inning and able to match that 3 spots with one of their own. Emily Sparks with an RBI grounder. Jordan Matheny with a 2 RBI single, then advanced to second. It was thrown out. And Lindsey Marion ended the 6th inning with a looking K. But Taylor Grange and the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes with an opportunity to end the game here in this inning. Taylor LaGrange with an RBI single way back in the 1st inning. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 5th. First pitch slapped in the gap between third and short. And there is a leadoff single for Taylor LaGrange as the Coyotes have a runner on. Alyssa Wadron going down to talk with home plate umpire. Maybe another change. Could be a pinch runner for KWU. Over at first is Taylor LaGrange after the single, her 2nd hit of the day. And that is the case. Madison Bourne, the 5'3" sophomore from Capon, going over to first to be a pinch runner. At the plate is a gal who came in for Annalise Hayes, Justine Chavez. She popped up to left in her first at-bat back in the 5th inning. Bunt shown, lay down, and it stops in its tracks. But Justine Chavez, unable to run out the play, gets thrown out over at first, but the sac bunt does its job. So the winning run is in scoring position on second. One down in the bottom of the 7th, a 5-all tie. Samantha Banda, the shortstop to the plate. First pitch, dribbled the third, reeling it in is Gonzalez. She's able to freeze the runner over at second. And she throws the ball over the first for the 2nd out of the 7th inning. But maybe Lauren Blue can add to her impressive first season as a Coyote. The freshman drew a walk back in the 6th. She doesn't have a hit yet in this game. The Frosh with an opportunity to get a walk-off. First pitch by Torres. Low and inside. Ball 1. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. 5-all to score. Coyotes trying to walk it off. Runner on second is Madison Bourne. The pinch runner. Here's the 1-0. Blue pops it high up in the air. It's pushed to the left. Trying to track it down is the shortstop Harbert, but she can't snow cone it. And Lauren Blue gets another opportunity here at home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Two away here in the bottom of the seventh. 5-all the score. Runner on second. Lauren Blue looking for that RBI. She's got 21 this season. Here's the 1-1. Blue swings through it and trails in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The freshman trying to deliver for a possible walk-on with the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. A walk-off hit would be terrific here for Lauren Blue. Here's the 1-2. Blue took the offering and sends it foul to the left out of play. Lauren Blue looking for her first hit of the day. It could come at a very good time for the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. Torres rocks and fires the 1-2 downstairs. Lauren Blue battling to make it a 2-all count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kansas Wesleyan, let's trail 5-2. Now tie it up with a 3-run 6. Here the 2-2 high up in the air. Giving chase is the catcher as well as the pitcher Torres. But it's out of play to her right. We stay with a 2-2 count. This at-bat certainly feels like it's taking a good portion of time as these two slug it out. Here's the 2-2. Blown away by Torres. It's a full count scenario for Lauren Blue. Coyote dugout starting to come alive. Blue with an opportunity. Full count pitch. Blue lifts it high up in the air and foul to the left. Blue is hanging tough against the pitcher Samantha Torres. Coyotes have stranded 7 different runners here in this game, trying to avoid number 8. The full count pitch. Blue got jammed. It's high up in the air. Coming in is the third baseman Gonzalez, who barely hangs on to it. That was a lucky little fly out to her because she almost dropped it. But we do go into the 8th inning as the Coyotes are unable to take advantage of the leadoff single by Taylor LaGrange. No runs, 1 hit, 1 stranded. To the 8th inning we go. 5-all your score between KWU and St. Mary. This is Coyote softball.
When the Coyotes take the court, the key to success is fantastic defense.
Well done, Pat.
I am so cold right now.
We'll defend you against loss. Trust Kent and Lambert Insurance to captain your D. Not only will they work hard to protect you, Lambert Insurance compares rates and coverages from a wide network of potential providers to get you the best deal possible. Have Kent build your dynasty today. Lambert Insurance at 2310 Planet Avenue in Salina.
It takes a great insurance agency to get you the security you're looking for. Visit Kent Lambert and his team of agents in Salina and Minneapolis. FM 104.9 KSAL Salina, a Rockingham media station.
Kansas Wesleyan and St. Mary set for extra innings here at Bill Burke Park. KWU had an opportunity to walk off in the bottom of the 7th inning. But now keep in mind, though, when you go to extras, you get a runner over at second to start. So Haley Reese is the batter. Runner on second is Samantha Torres. It's a rule that's certainly being tested out in the minors, for minor league baseball, in the pros. Inside the circle is Krause, and she delivers a fastball in there for strike one. Haley Reese, Lindsay Fishman, and Cassidy Harbert all due up for the Spires. Krause with the 0-1 pitch. Bunt lay down. Right back to Krause. Zips at the first. One down. Sack bunt does allow Samantha Torres to go to third. St. Mary has been playing small ball to combat this win, and not only that, but the Spires, number 2 in the conference for stolen bags. Krause now sees Lindsay Fishman. First pitch fouled off the end of the bat to her left. Fishman laid down a sack back in the 6th inning. And that 3-run frame for the St. Mary Spires, who played at 2 runs off errors, 3 in total that inning. The 0-1 from Krause near the shoulders of Lindsay Fishman for ball 1. Runner on third for the St. Mary Spires. 1 down in the top of the 8th inning. It's a 5-all tie. St. Mary was able to have a runner on second to open extras. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off the fence to our right. Wind seeing some more cloud coverage. Getting a little bit colder here in Salina as the day goes along. The 1-2 coming from Krause. Outside corner, but barely missing. Count evens out to 2 balls, 2 strikes. The wind is relentless. The 2-2 from Krause. Swing, and almost got her the miss, but Fishman, and somehow, some way, getting a piece of that softball. Lindsay Fishman, a transfer from McCook, Nebraska. 4 straight games with an RBI. Here's the 2-2. Fouls it back to the backstop. Fishman in her last 5 games, 7 of 15 for 5 RBI, a run and a walk. Megan Krause trying to get her second out this inning. The 2-2 pitch popped up, and it goes foul right to us. Sports Information Director David Tolley not fazed. Both probably could have made that catch. Kansas Wesleyan has battled back to tie it up at 5-all. Here's a 2-2. Goes opposite field to the right, trying to track it down to Sparks. It's a good thing, though, that she didn't come up with the catch. It would have allowed Samantha Torres to go from third to home. Lindsay Fishman is battling hard here at home plate. Here in the start of extras. The 2-2. Dribbles down the third base line and foul. The count is 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down in the top of the 8th. 5-all the score. St. Mary with the runner on third. St. Mary scored runs in the 3rd and 6th innings. The 2-2. Swing and a miss on the high heater. Megan Krause got her fishing. And Lindsay Fishman goes down swinging for the second out of the 8th inning. Six strikeouts by Megan Krause in this game. And the most recent one was giant. But Cassidy Harbert is a lethal player. She dribbles a hard hit to Bana, the shortstop. Could not range fast enough. And Cassidy Harbert adds to her team-high RBI total. An RBI in 13 of the last 17 games. And the St. Mary's Spires grab a 6-5 lead here in the 8th inning. Abigail Gonzalez now approaches the plate as the Spires draw first blood in extras. Krause's first pitch in there for strike one. Abigail Gonzalez had a sac RBI bunt back in the 6th inning. Ball lifted high in the air to left. Marion underneath it. And that wraps up the 8th inning. Coyotes, though, they need a run in the bottom of the 8th inning to keep things going. Coyotes trail 6-5 as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. This is Coyote softball.
It's the offer of the year at Next Tech Wireless. Maybe the offer of the century. So listen up. For a limited time, switch and get up to 3 lines of unlimited data free for a year.
Dreadful.
You heard it. Free for a year. Plus, every single smartphone is 50% off, including the Samsung Galaxy S9 you've heard about, and all the iPhones. Certain restrictions apply. Switch to Next Tech Wireless for free unlimited data and half off smartphones.
6-5 St. Mary. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Got some static coming our way. Hopefully everything's going well back at the station. Maybe that dirt and the wind starting to affect our gear here at Billbrook Park. Samantha Torres still the pitcher for the St. Mary's Spires. She has been pretty darn good here in this game. She's given up some hits, 10 to be exact. But Kansas Wesleyan have plated 3 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Got some help after an error by the third baseman in the 6th inning. And now Kansas Wesleyan gets a runner over at first. Lauren Blue was over at second. Static continues to come across, but it sounds like it's just on our end and it's not actually taking place over here. So hopefully that continues to be the case. Runner on second for KWU. At the plate is Emily Genestra, who lays down the bunt but fouls it off for strike one. Kylie Ross is the designated player. She's due up. Then the lineup flips over to Emily Sparks. Oh, 0-1 is the count to Genestra. Torres ready to go. Bunt shown, not lay down, as the pitch was high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Torres inside the circle. The 1-1. Bunt shown. It's popped up to the right to the St. Mary dugout. One ball, 2 strikes to Emily Genestra. She reached safely in the 6th inning after that error by the third baseman, Gonzalez. She's still looking for that first hit. The 1-2. Swing and a miss, and Torres starts out the bottom of the 8th with a strikeout. Just her 4th one of the day. But KWU still with an opportunity here in extras as the wind continues to swirl and the sun continues to go away behind the clouds. Kylie Ross, a designated player, as the slapper. First pitch, high and outside for ball one. Kylie Ross steps away from home plate. Alyssa Wadron able to flash a sign from third base. The 1-0, bunt shown, and it goes off the end of her bat for strike one. Runner on second for KWU here in the bottom of the eighth inning. It's a 6-5 lead for St. Mary. Coyotes trying to find a way to get this win to start the doubleheader. Here's the 1-1. Outside corner, and Kylie Ross is down in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. St. Mary's Spires have just 8 wins in total this year. KWU 13-15 overall, trying to get to 500. The 1-2. Ross able to dribble it to short. Harbor able to reel it in, zips it over the first, and gets it in time. No, Kylie Ross finds a way to beat it out. So not only does Kylie Ross get the hit, I don't know what the problem was for a second because Kylie Ross started to walk over this way. So I don't know what the big problem is, but Alyssa Wadron is talking here to the umpire who stands between second and third. Lauren Blue stands on third base. Kylie Ross is over at first. So now the umpire across the way, he indicates an out. But yet Kylie Ross stands at first. So Kylie Ross does not indeed get a hit. Instead, she is out after the throw. After the put out by Harbor at the shortstop. So Blue is on third. 2 down in the bottom of the eighth. It's a 6-5 St. Mary lead. Emily Sparks at the plate. First pitch for the slapper is outside for ball one. Boy, this wind and dirt has made things rather interesting here at Billbrook Park for game one of this doubleheader between these two teams. The 1-0. Sparks stares at it. Outside and high. 2-0, the count in favor of Sparks. She had an RBI back in the 6th inning. It was a putout, as she was able to drive in 1 of 3 runs in that 6. Here's the 2-0. Sparks stares at it. She agrees with the call. Hits the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike to her. Two on the count to Emily Sparks. Torres deals it in. And Sparks not pulling the trigger on any one of these throws. This one hits the outside corner again. Count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coyotes down to their final out. Torres ready. The 2-2. Sparks up the middle, bobbled by the pitcher. Torres somehow reels it in and gives it up to first for the final out. Torres had not one but two bobbles. And the St. Mary's Spires claim game one of this doubleheader with a 6-5 win in 8 innings. Let's take a TO. We'll come back, go through the final stats, and hopefully get a chance to maybe get away from the static. This is Coyote softball.
When the Coyotes take the court, the key to success is fantastic
because of dirt in
defense.
the wind.
The
I don't know
same
what the
holds true
problem
with
is.
your insurance policy. When disaster strikes, you'll need...
That's okay. I'll just edit the cool edit audio once I get done with the post game and everything.
Sounds good.
Not only will they work hard to protect you, Lambert Insurance compares rates and coverages from a wide network of potential providers to get you the best deal possible. Have Kent build your dynasty today. Lambert Insurance at 2310 Planet Avenue in Salina.
It's the offer of the year at Next Tech Wireless. Maybe the offer of the century. So listen up. For a limited time, switch and get up to 3 lines of unlimited data free for a year. You heard it. Free for a year. Plus, every single smartphone is 50% off, including the Samsung Galaxy S and all the iPhones. Certain restrictions apply. Ditch your overpriced plan and switch to Nextech Wireless for free unlimited data and half-off smartphones.
This is Trooper Tim McCool of the Kansas Highway Patrol. There's a couple new laws that you need to know about while driving in Kansas. First, when you're driving outside a city on a road with 2 or more lanes going in the same direction, you must drive in the right-hand lane. Only use the left lane for passing another vehicle, making a proper left-hand turn, obeying traffic control devices, or moving over for stopped emergency or maintenance vehicles with flashing lights. Secondly, if your vehicle is involved in a collision, you should make every reasonable effort to safely move it from the road, as long as there isn't a death, apparent injury, or hazardous material involved. This law doesn't apply if the vehicle needs towing or it can't be operated under its own power without damaging the vehicle or the road. Beginning July